I am in jail. Just as bad. I soon found myself confined within a small room. The stern-looking tsundere, I'm gonna have so much trouble pronouncing that name. Tyrant glaring down at me while the other girl, seemingly called Narumi, had at least softened up a little. From what I had gathered during their conversation, they had called the village elder to help oversee my questioning. What purpose do these thefts have? Or are you just some perverted guy who gets off sniffing girls' undies? I ought to cut them off. Please don't. I already told you I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not to mention anything worn by you would likely smell burnt or taste sour. I couldn't see too well from the cell where they had put me, but I was almost certain I could hear Narumi laughing nearby. Tsukino Dono, please cool down. You brought him in to learn the reason behind his presence in the forest, right? That is correct, Hayate-san. I believe he was working with the Kitsune to steal panties and other things. Objection! What are you objecting to, sir? The evidence surrounding the defendant, the accusation is fabricated. Narumi-san, could you please answer this question for the judge? Was the defendant, aka myself, anywhere near the Kitsune while you two were chasing them? Hold it! Just who are you calling judge here? Stop shouting or I will strike you down! Hey Mio-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy is clearly not a bandit, nor a threat. We could just ask him why he was up there in the woods. If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's a panty thief. And we'll use him as a punching bag out in the yard. Finally, here I thought this was going to become a turnabout case. There's a problem. We don't entirely have a good reason. We were in the shrine, we passed out, and then we were in the forest. I sighed deeply, partly amused at how, despite the serious situation, I was able to remain calm by acting like several characters I had seen in movies or games I played before. If you had to play, in a situation like this, you had to choose to act like a character from a movie or game, what character would you choose?
I don't know.
I would choose Yuri from Shadow Hearts. You'd probably do the same. Either that or Margaret. No, wait, not Margaret. Let's see. As long as I wouldn't become an ace prisoner, things would hopefully end up well. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken Takahiro. Oh, thank you. She has chocolate milk and I love chocolate milk. So why were you inside the forest while village guards were chasing a pair of thieves? I'm not entirely sure myself. One moment I was praying at a shrine hidden inside the forest, and the next moment I noticed some weird girl starts talking to me. A girl? There's a girl with horns and a scale tail. I know it sounds odd. I could have sworn I saw her before I fainted, and then I woke up inside the forest. Tsukino Dono, Narumi-chan, do you two recall the stories behind the shrine near our village? Forgive me, Hayate-san, I do not recall. I know you said it was a place of high spiritual energy, a sacred place, but I can't remember everything. Sorry, Oji-san. That shrine belongs to Tsuyuri. Just so you know, I'll give you a little fact about Japanese words. Yuri is another name for lesbian. A powerful spirit that has watched over our village for as long as we can remember. There's a reason why, unlike the Kitsune, we tend to avoid going too deep into the forest. I still think those pests would be gone for good if you just let me go in and find their home. Probably some damp cave on the hill or a dilapidated old wooden house. Humans and spirits. The spirits? The Kitsune are spirits? Humans and spirits rarely mingle well, even if they meet with good intentions. The fact that this lad says he saw a spirit, there is a chance he was there for a reason. Not to mention, did you take a good look at him yet? He seems disorientated and almost out of this world. We're on Venus. So men are from Mars or women are from Venus? I think we're on Venus. This is the first man we've seen in this world. We've seen 4 women, and then they're talking about a 5th woman. only man. God, it would be so... Imagine living in a village, like if you were a guy, with 20 women and you were the only man. Your dick would get so sore. He did seem to be talking gibberish. He claimed to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that for miles around. He was also talking about something weird called a movie, and he knows martial moves that I've never seen before. He's still a pervert. I'm not a pervert. A guy of my age is innocently curious. It's perfectly natural. Besides, if you're talking about the panties, they were tossed into my face. I had nothing to do with them, tsundere tyrant. What did you just call me? I ought to smash you to pieces, you brat. Oh, wait, now that I think about it, those two kitsune did look like they were just abandoning your panties. But Oji-san, what does this all mean? I'm not certain. However, I believe it's unlikely that he's working with a kitsune. Quick save. Still, I've never heard about a human meeting a spirit like Sayuri. I would almost be bold enough to declare him as someone who isn't from our world. Wait, he's trying to say that I'm in a different world now? That would be the most logical explanation. Sure, that makes sense. But I've got an important match to take part in 2 weeks from now. Well, none of us have ever experienced a situation like this before, so we'll have to think about how to deal with you. Or even if it's possible to get you back to your world. In the meantime, a stay in the cell for a few hours will not hurt him. He did assault one of the village guard and he resisted arrest. He can stay here until he rots for all I care, but I suspect the Elder will wish to talk with you once you are done here, Hikage. I'm going for a wash. I suggest you do the same. I would take offense to that, implying that I stink. But that was a hell of a run. Those fox girls can run fast. I still want to know more about those techniques, Takahiro-san. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to go a few rounds with you. Not that I'll be able to go anywhere else for the time being. It's only for a few hours, so we can discuss how to deal with you. Obviously, one like yourself would raise quite some questions among the villagers. So we need to convince them first that you're no threat. And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail while the guards responsible for my situation decided to leave me be within myself. What misfortune! As if being sent to a different world wasn't bad enough. I'm not. That word wrong. I'm not stuck in jail with my only company being a pair of beautiful, magnificent, majestic kitsune sisters. Wait. A pair of beautiful. Wait a second. Hey, is the two girls familiar? As I watched a familiar face appear at the top of my cell, a blonde woman with golden eyes. If you could have any eye color besides red or black, what would it be?
Fair. I don't like any other colours.
I would have yellow. Like golden eyes. Like her eyes. I would have that. It's the Undies Archers. If you come to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong. Nope, we saw the guards go into the pool and swipe the maiden silk again. See? At that, she pulled out a pair of lacy silken underwear from her sleeve and stretched it within her thumb, showing off the panty prize to me. We came all the way back to this village to snatch their underwear again? Besides, I wouldn't call one of them a maiden. That tsundere tyrant doesn't fit that bill at all. The cutie with the katana? You would be surprised. Quite surprised, actually. I happen to believe that she has not even felt her own touch, let alone anyone else. What am I reading? She seems to be far too uptight for that. As for coming back to the village, we have a debt to settle. Let's not wander into that subject. I can still imagine her katana lingering near my throat. I smiled weakly while trying to think about what the kitsune mentioned at the end of her statement. I'm not sure what this debt of yours might be, but I do know that you two best get out of here before those two return. You don't seem to be on friendly terms with the samurai girls. Wait, if he doesn't know about the debt, then we can just run, Noni-sama. Meiko, that's not how we do things. Young man, your actions allowed us to escape our situation without harm. It places us in the debt, for which we are now repaying you. Meiko, do the magic. Magic? Hey. The younger girl walked forward to place her hands upon the cage's lock. She began mumbling something I couldn't even begin to understand, and her hands started glowing brightly. Being sent to a different world, Gil was wielding weapons, now Fox Girl is using magic. Next on the list I'm going to find a talkative magical sword and be destined to save the world. Still, I was curious to see what this magic would do to the lock keeping me imprisoned. The glow flared for a moment before fading. There was a hiss and a sizzle, and the lock dripped to the floor, melted from the cage. The lock melted? Holy shit! Well done, Mako-chan, you did very well. Just relax now. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be most surprised about. The fact that girl just melted a steel lock, or that I'm starting to accept this as a normal thing. This level of magic is extraordinary. Mako-chan is quite gifted. But as I have said, we are here to settle our debts. If you would like, we can escort you back to the forest where we encountered you. I do, however, suggest that you decide quickly. The guards do not behave long. I should know. I've observed them before. Well, I'm certainly not going to stick around, so I'll gladly accompany you two out of here. Maybe I'll finally find my way back home then. Lead the way, Peeping Tammy. Machiko. Sakura no Machiko, not Tammy. Takahiro. I'd suggest we keep introductions for when we successfully escaped. Very well then, Takakun, follow. As I was stepping out of the cell, the sound of a familiar voice boomed in the distance. Thieves! Crafty Kitsune kleptomaniacs, I'll skin you alive! I think that's our cue to bolt. And with that, the three of us started out of the prison. And that's pretty much all that happened. According to the villagers, there is supposed to be a shrine somewhere in the forest. It must be the same I visited before I got stuck in this mess. Goodness, that sounds like a terrible situation. I know that spirits like Sayuri like playing with people, but this seems a little cruel of her. I would speak with her myself, but Kitsune are not allowed on the ground at the shrine. What did you steal from her? What? Onisama, I thought we just didn't go there because you get all flustered and blush when you try talking to Su-chan. Shut up, Mako! She's lesbian! I didn't think a penny thief would get embarrassed talking to someone, but perhaps you two could show me the way towards the shrine? Somehow the layout of the forest seems different from my world, which pretty much made Senpai's map useless now. He did not understand. Here it is.